In 1977, television audiences were introduced to the enchanting drama Fantasy Island, a series that quickly captivated viewers with its unique premise. The show starred Ricardo Montalban as the enigmatic Mr. Rourke and Hervé Villechaize as his loyal assistant, Tattoo. Every Saturday night, guests arriving on Fantasy Island had their deepest desires fulfilled, for a price. Tattoo's iconic cry from the bell tower, "De plan, signaled the arrival of new guests to this mystical paradise. Fantasy Island was another triumph for the creative mastermind Aaron Spelling, adding to his impressive portfolio of successful television series. Throughout much of its run, the show was paired with another of Spelling's hits, The Love Boat, which similarly featured a rotating cast of guest stars engaging in romantic escapades aboard a luxurious cruise ship. Both shows shared the theme of solving the problems of their guests in exotic locales, but Fantasy Island stood out for its pronounced supernatural elements. Mr. Rourke and Tattoo often seemed to possess otherworldly abilities, though the nature of their powers was never fully explained. Adding an element of mystery to the show, the series provided pure escapism for its audience, a fantastical retreat from everyday life. Initially, the network, ABC, had a different vision for the show's lead, pushing hard for the iconic Orson Welles to take on the role. However, Aaron Spelling had his sights set on Ricardo Montalban, and his vision prevailed. The network also had plans to replace Tattoo with a more conventionally attractive female assistant, believing that this change would enhance the show's appeal. Despite these pressures and the success of shows like Charlie's Angels, which featured a cast of glamorous women, Spelling remained committed to Villechaize's character. The conception of Fantasy Island itself was quite serendipitous. During a brainstorming session with the network, Spelling, frustrated with the lack of enthusiasm for his ideas, jokingly suggested the concept of an island where a man grants wishes to visitors. To his surprise, the network executives loved the idea, and thus, Fantasy Island was born. Ricardo Montalban often spoke about his interpretation of Mr. Rourke, describing him as an angelic figure tasked with running a kind of purgatory, a place where people could confront their desires and flaws. He imagined Mr. Rourke as a being who still harbored a touch of pride, which made his role on the island both a duty and a personal journey. Tattoo, played by Hervé Villechaize, had his own intriguing backstory. A child prodigy in the arts, Villechaize was born in Paris and displayed exceptional talent from a young age. By 16, he was attending a prestigious art school, and 2 years later, he became the youngest artist ever to exhibit at the Museum of Paris. His transition to acting came after he taught himself English by watching soap operas, even taking on roles such as Oscar the Grouch on Sesame Street, in a unique portrayal where Oscar would walk around with feet protruding from the bottom of his trash can. Villechaize's career on Fantasy Island brought him widespread recognition and commercial opportunities, although his personal life was often tumultuous. He became particularly famous for his work as a spokesperson for the Chrysler Cordoba, where his line about the car's rich Corinthian leather became a well-known catchphrase, despite the term being a marketing invention rather than a description of a genuine product. The plane scene in each episode of Fantasy Island became a symbol of the show's magic, transporting guests to the island where their fantasies would come to life. This aircraft, which was later auctioned off in the 1990s, was previously owned by Richard Bach, the author of Jonathan Livingston Seagull, and bore the autographs of numerous guest stars from the series. Very little was revealed about Mr. Rourke's true nature throughout the show's run. Even those closest to him, including former lovers, only referred to him as Rourke. He was portrayed as the sole proprietor of Fantasy Island, with his age and origins shrouded in mystery. The pilot episode hinted at Rourke's possible immortality, suggesting a deeper and more enigmatic background than what was explicitly shown. The filming of Fantasy Island added another layer of intrigue. While initial scenes suggested a Hawaiian setting, most of the series was actually shot in Burbank, California. The iconic Queen Anne Cottage in the Los Angeles County Arboretum and Botanical Garden served as the primary location for the island's scenes, with the Santa Anita racetrack visible in the background during Tattoo's bell-ringing sequences. Indoor scenes were filmed on sound stages at the Warner Brothers studio, adding to the illusion of an otherworldly island. Aaron Spelling's approach to the show's format was also unconventional. Rather than titling each episode, he titled individual storylines, allowing for multiple stories to be featured in a single episode. This structure meant that episodes could vary in length and format, sometimes being presented as hour-long features or split into half-hour segments, especially during syndication. Spelling's strategy of mixing and matching storylines across episodes helped him create a versatile syndication package, maximizing the show's appeal in reruns. As the series progressed, Villequez's behavior behind the scenes became problematic. Known for making inappropriate advances towards women on set and clashing with producers, his demands for a salary equal to Montalban's ultimately led to his dismissal. He was replaced by Christopher Hewitt, who brought a different dynamic to the show. Tragically, Villequez's life ended in sadness. On the morning of September 4, 1993, suffering from chronic pain due to his physical condition, Villequez took his own life at the age of 50. He left behind a note expressing his despair over his long-standing health issues. His ashes were scattered in the Pacific Ocean near San Pedro, California, marking a sorrowful end to a life filled with both triumph and turmoil. Fantasy Island remains a beloved series from the 1970s, remembered fondly for its imaginative premise, memorable characters, and the sense of wonder it instilled in viewers. The show's legacy continues to resonate, a testament to the power of fantasy and the enduring appeal of stories that explore the human condition through the lens of magical realism. Here we end. Thank you for your attention. Like and subscribe. There are many interesting things ahead. Good luck.